something for what it's worth. With you, heaven is a place on earth, and I will take you there. I'll take you.
Welcome to today's pick a card reading, TAYliens. I'm super excited to tap into this energy today. Who am I? This reading is intended to help you see a way through your environment, see a way through the labels, see a way through your own fears, see the way through your own birth chart. Sometimes we get so stuck on, I am this sun sign, I am this moon sign, I am this Venus sign, so that means that I am this, I am that. And we have to remember that although that may be true, there's so much more that factors into who we are as well. And my intention with this reading is to help to motivate you and help to inspire you and to help you love on you a little bit deeper by understanding yourself a little bit more outside of the common factors of environment, self-doubt, labels placed on you by other people, religion, belief systems, and all those things. This is simply talking about the essence of you. This is your Who Am I reading. Let's go ahead and get into the pick a card portion. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy content like this so you can become a TAYlien, because at the end of every video there is TAYlien only content when it comes to pick a card readings, and you don't want to miss out. Group number 1 that selected the King of Cups card. This is your reading. Let's find out, who are you? I'm going to shuffle the cards and do a time lapse and then get into your energies. Group number 1 that resonates with the King of Cups. I've pulled 12 zodiac and astrological body cards to tap into your energy, to help you understand who you are, most specifically at this given point in time. Now, please understand that this is a timeless reading and it can resonate in different ways at different points in your life. Right now, you feel drawn to this group. At another time, you may be drawn to another group. But as of right now, who you are is someone who is deeply entrenched in their emotions. Someone who loves deeply, loves hard, and has learned some tough lessons based on your experiences. It's hard for us to just wash away our experiences, good and bad, and pretend that they don't mold us into who we are. We are nothing if not our experiences. So do not shame yourself from molding yourself to how you feel. But this reading is intended to help you find strength in that as opposed to a weakness, so that you can help yourself moving forward. So let's do an individual breakdown. You have Venus representing your first house energy. And your first house represents your self-image, your personality, ambition, drives, and body. So this lets me know that you are overall appealing to the majority of people, to the masses. You are physically enticing. Whether this is your hands, your face, your eyes, your nose, your lips, your arms, your legs, your abdomen, your midriff area. There's something about you that is very physically appealing, very physically attractive. It's giving God, goddess energy, if you will. You really dive into the finer things of life, and you are a very genuine individual when you dive into these things that have piqued your interest. And it's easy for you to assume that everyone is just as genuine and true as you are. It's safe for you to assume that people are just as confident as you are, but unfortunately that's not the case. And I'm seeing that that's where those tough lessons have stemmed from. I'm also being brought to take note of the shape of your circle, the creation here. It's in the latter part of the circle where the dynamic truly shifts. So I'm seeing that who you are formulates and shifts over time, and you allow your experiences to tell you who you are. You allow your experiences to tell you who to become. There's nothing wrong with this. However, it does let you know that in order to turn a weak point into a strength is to remember that you are like a liquid. You truly are shaped and formulated by your environment, by your relationships, through the content that you create, watch, inspire, listen to, the music. All of it is a reflection of you. So it's really important that you as an individual get a grip on what it is that you want to accomplish for yourself in this life. Who do you want to be? It's interesting, your who am I message is asking you in reflection. You are who you want to be. This is a call to immerse yourself in the finer things in life. And you may be like, well, I don't have the funds for that. That's where you've got life mistaken, because the finer things in life are not things that you can buy. It's an energy that you can embody first. I'm being brought to foods for you. Dialect, so words that you hear as well. Words of affirmation in the food that you eat are big parts of who you become, of who you are, of how you feel, and how you resonate in life. Excuse me, I want to reformulate. And there's nothing wrong with reformulating. You are shaped by your indulgences in this life. So make sure you are indulging in things that you want to become, in energies that you want to embody. Excuse me. Your second house energy is being represented by Taurus. Your value systems, material possession, and financial attitudes. Your second house is represented by the ruler of the second house, which lets me know that you are very much in tune and very practical when it comes to the way that you make money, when it comes to your material possessions. You're very smart about these things. You may even find yourself considering it easy to make money, or at least once you reach a certain point in your life, it's not hard for you to establish yourself. You may be in a rocky situation, but you quickly find stability. At least in the physical. But I am picking up that you tend to struggle with the emotional aspect of stability. And again, it's because of what you feed your energy into, who you feed your energy into. Again, Saturn at the bottom of the deck for you. Tough lessons learned based on who you are as an individual. And it's all about your emotions and you being in this cup. You are your environment. This is more true for you than the majority. Keep this in mind. This is why, again, what you indulge in is so important and so critical for you to be mindful of, because if you are indulging in things that you do not want to be, then you are not going to like who you are. So if you don't want to be acting like a boss-ass biche and you want to be softer, then embody your energy in that way. Caress your energy in that way. Show yourself that softer energy through movies, through dance, through music. And you can use popular culture to help you in this way as well. If you want to be softer, look after softer energies. If there is a famous person, alive or passed on now, that embodies the energy that you want to be in, indulge in more of their energy. If they're an actor, watch their movies. If they're a singer-songwriter, listen to their music. If they create in any way, shape, or form, take in their art forms. It's time for you to surround yourself with what it is that you want to be. And it's time to take this a bit more seriously. If you want to be less soft and you want to be more transformative, more masculine in your energy, surround yourself with warrior-like energies. And remember that life is seasonal. Maybe this season you want to be soft. Next season you want to be harder than a bit. That's fine. But again, you are your environment. You are what you take in. You are what you indulge in. So who do you want to be? Establish that, and then take in all that you want to be. Your third house goes on, represented by Pluto. I want to take note that there's 2, 2, 2 sitting right back to back here. Actually, we have 2, 2, 2, 2. So you may be seeing a lot of 2s in your life, but you know what this also tells me? The number 2 is about you and something or someone else. That thing that molds you, that thing that shapes you. You are molded, you are shaped by the things that you choose to put around you. Even things as simple as your decorative pieces in your home. You embody the energy of these things. So if you don't want to embody the energy of a black lamp, and you want to be more like a white, soft, clean lamp, then get that. If you don't want that black lamp to give you this harder exterior, then you need to find a new lamp. Find some new blinds. Find a new bed set. Find some new furniture. Invest in things that you want to be more like. And you may be like, why the hell would I want to be like an inanimate object? You can learn from everything in this realm, even inanimate objects. Now, let's move on into your third house, which is being represented by Pluto. Your third house is about the way you communicate, think, and learn, your siblings and neighbors. It seems as though you are hesitant, slow to speak, or at least the type to observe and read the room before you really show people who you are. This is good for you. Keep this up. You may not have expected an applause in this reading, but Spirit is applauding you for the approach that you're taking in your day-to-day life when it comes to interacting with other people, because tough lessons learned. You come across as serious and tuned in, closed off, and a bit hesitant when it comes to communicating with people. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with not being the loudest person in the room. There's nothing wrong with not wearing your confidence on your sleeve, in your voice, in your tone. There's nothing wrong with simply not really being a social person. If you're not a social butterfly and you don't want to be, you don't have to be. Not everyone in this life is meant to be seen and heard on the highest amplified stages. Sometimes your soul is happiest just being, just observing, just experiencing, just learning. You may be in a season where you have been trying to convince yourself to come out of this shell. You don't have to. If you like being where you are and it's working for you, then be that. Remember, you are your environment, so decorate your shell as you want it to be. You most likely have a small, intimate group of friends and family members and cohorts that you interact with. If you are happy with this, then continue to be happy with this. You don't have to be the most social butterfly to be successful in life. It's no secret that the realest people don't have a whole lot of friends. And there is nothing wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, at the end of this life, no one is going with you. It's just you. So make sure you like who you are. Your fourth house is represented by Neptune. Fourth house represents your mother and father, your roots, your domestic life, and family. I feel as though you may be what they may consider the black sheep. I try not to dwell too much in this energy. I just use it for descriptions. But really, what this is telling me is that in your familial ancestral line, you are the one who's breaking through patterns, breaking down barriers, but you're doing it quietly. And it's you being quiet that actually confuses people, because the transformative work that you are doing at this given point in time, that you are doing quietly for yourself, is usually done by people that scream at the top of their lungs, "I'm making this change, everyone look at me." But you require no audience, which is actually what is attracting an audience. Now, this audience can be as big as 1 million people. This audience can be as small as your sister, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, your mother, your family, your friends, your coworkers. But people are watching. You're over in what they would consider La La Land, and they're wondering, how the hell can I get there too? Who are you? You don't realize how inspiring your observational energy is to people. You are not aware of how you actually know who you are and how this is inspiring to people. In a world where everyone is taught to be loud, outspoken, you're not afraid to be the complete opposite. You may be what people would consider the type that doesn't speak unless spoken to. And this may be interpreted as sad or depressed to some people, but who cares what they interpret it as? Like I said, if you are happy in this energy, continue to be happy in this energy. There's nothing wrong with not always needing to be on the high end of the spectrum of life. It's really not good to be at super high highs or low lows in this lifetime, because balance, equilibrium is the most important state of being. I feel as though who you are is actually centered, mastered in this essence of everything and nothing, in this essence of between the highs and between the lows. You have mastered this energy, and people may even try to make it seem like you're bland or you're boring or you're this, you're that, when in reality there's so much grand energy going on within you, so many grand pictures being painted in your mind's eye. You are being encouraged to express this. Even if you don't want to be a painter, maybe you want to draw in the dirt. Maybe you want to build with sticks. And no one will ever even have to know if you don't want them to. But expression is something very good for you at this time. Your expression represents not only you, but those that came before you in your lineage. You may have a very active imagination, and you're being encouraged to play with this, ponder with this. I think that you might be surprised with what you create from it. You like to be this hermit for a reason. Excuse me. You being in this hermit-like energy is where you create. It's where you dance. And like I said, you have an audience of people that really want to know what's going on in that mind of yours. You're giving the vibration of an individual who is meant to be in the background while your work is at the forefront. You may even be an anonymous creator, or this is something that you may want to consider. If you are a writer, a painter, a lyricist, you may find a lot of joy in being recognized for your work, but them not knowing who they are recognizing for the work. Again, anonymous. Let's go ahead and move forward into your 5th house energy, which is represented by Virgo. 5th house represents creativity, affairs of the heart, fun, hobbies, social life, and children. This being represented by Virgo, this lets me know that you take fun very seriously. Which brings me back to that creative energy. You have a lot of fun creating, whether this is creating a play space in your mind, or creating a painting, or creating a song, or creating a dance, or creating an outfit. You find a lot of pleasure, a lot of joy in this, but you take it very seriously. This is why, whether you know it or not, you are meant to create a lifestyle that is funded by your creative gifts, by what you consider fun, because you take it so seriously. And again, you may be like, I'm really good at making music, but I do not want to be an artist. I don't want to be at the forefront. I don't want to be on the stage. You don't have to be. You can, if that's what you so desire. But for the majority of those that have selected this, I'm seeing you as the type of individual that really doesn't need all the hoopla, really doesn't need all the recognition. I just heard all I need is the reward. Because I talked about you indulging in the finer things. I really believe that who you are is someone who loves the finer things in life, but you want to enjoy that yacht and that mansion in the hills by yourself or with a few people who don't know your name. If you go to the grocery store, you don't want to be recognized. So start praying and tapping into that energy, because anything is possible. Moving into your sixth house energy being represented by Libra. The sixth house talks about your job, responsibilities, work habits, and relationships, as well as health. This being represented by Libra lets me know that we're going back to that number 2. Remember, I talked about you and the things that you are involved with, you and the people that you know, you and the things that you do. Your job is a huge part of your life. So if you are partaking in a job that you are not passionate about, this is why you are depressed. Even if you feel like you have to have a job because of the funding, you still need to have something that you simply do because you love it. There needs to be a balance made. And I know that people are like, oh, you can't make a living doing the things that you love. Well, baby, that's not my reality. I refuse to embody that energy. And you don't have to embody that energy either. And I'm seeing that for the health of yourself, it's time that you pull yourself out of that energy and pray your way into a new state of being, a new state of existing for your mental health, because your energy can very well easily dip into a depressed state, feeling like there's no purpose, feeling lackluster. When in reality, all you need is a space, a job, or something that you do for fun that makes you feel fulfilled and full of love. Your seventh house, represented by the moon. This represents business and romantic relationships, how you interact with people. You're deeply in tune with your emotions. That's no secret, you being represented by the King of Cups and you being introduced with Venusian and Tauran energy. It's no secret that you do indeed wear your heart on your sleeve, but you've learned your lessons. You've learned that you can wear your heart on your sleeve and still be a warrior. Hence all of these red colors here. Even in your Tauran energy and even in your Virgo energy, you still have that red, fiery Mars energy to show that you've learned these lessons and you've earned your stripes, if you will. You've earned your badges. In your romantic relationships, it's important for you to really speak up about how you feel from a calm, cool, and collected space. I'm seeing that after much time away, it is easy for you to express how you feel. You don't like to feel overwhelmed or burdened by how you feel. Hence, the reason why this King of Cups contains all of his energy in the container, in the environment that he's in. Just because you are in a highly emotional being doesn't mean that you have to be out of whack, out of balance. Doesn't mean that you have to always be arguing and fighting with people. Doesn't mean that you have to always be misunderstood. It just simply means that you need to understand how you feel and practice through trial and error how to express this in your relationships. Again, tough lessons learned. This is your overall energy of tough lessons learned in expression based on your emotional state. Group number 1, King of Cups energy, you are your emotions. You are that cup of emotions, and you are the person that decides, what cup do you want this to be in? Do I want it to be in an angry cup? Do I want it to be in a a sadistic cup? Do I want it to be in a soft cup? Do I want it to be in a loving cup? What kind of cup do I need this energy to be in order for it to best help me move forward, to best balance me here? Moving forward into your 8th house energy. 8th house for you is being represented by Sagittarius, which is linked to jointly controlled money and assets, taxes, inheritances, as well as obligations. So with Sagittarius being your energy here, this lets me know that you are the type of individual that people trust very much so when it comes to handling other people's money. You could work really well in a bank. You could work really well in scholarship offices, at schools, on campuses, or when it comes to helping people fund projects, you would be really, really good at this. Okay, this is another thing that's coming through here as well. Going back to you being a creator, you may want to be a creative director and decide costumes, decide how much money needs to go towards this, how much money needs to go towards that. I'm even being brought to people that work behind the scenes for Disney, and when it comes to funding and things of that nature. Okay, I'm just throwing things out there, but this does not limit you to these things. There's so many things out in the world that I don't even know about, things that you have yet to know about, things that anyone has yet to explore, things that have yet to be created. So please keep that in mind. But above all, this is letting me know here that you work really well with other people's resources. You're really good at delegating money, delegating resources, delegating energy, telling people you would be good at doing this, you would be good at doing that. You would be a great creative director of some sort here. I'm seeing that you age like fine wine through everything that you do in this life. No matter how you're feeling currently, you are going to feel even greater the older you get, okay? You know that you are embodying your truest essence when you age like fine wine. You're not supposed to get angrier and more bitter the more that you age. That's when you tap into that energy where I said if you are doing a job that you don't like, you will notice yourself being crabbier, being less balanced, being less creative, being more moody, and just hating life, if I'm being quite honest. You are meant to age like fine wine. Let's get into your 9th house energy, which is represented by Capricorn. 9th house talks about spirituality, religion, morals, higher education, and long distance travel. This being represented by Capricorn lets me know that you are very practical in regards to how you view the world. And I feel as though it's interesting that you're actually watching this reading because you may have been the type that didn't believe in tarot. You may not have believed in much outside of what your eyes could see because again, you're a very practical being. And those tough lessons learned, you've learned not to over romanticize situations into a Piscean energy that takes you out of and takes you away from being grounded. So you are very practical, which is why I think that I was talking about over here that it's important for you to, if you feel like you have to have that 9 to 5 to just be stable, that's completely fine if that's how you feel safe and secure, but make sure you're still feeding your energy into things that you do love, okay? Because practically speaking, you just feel like I need to have a job, I need to have this, I need to have that, and that's completely fine if you feel that way. Because I want to point out here, you didn't have exact like precise Pisces energy to come out here, although we do have Neptune and we do have the moon here. But it's very clear to me that you try to keep your feet on solid ground. You try not to over romanticize situations because again, that was a tough lesson learned. This is not something that you just came out of the womb knowing like, oh yeah, I can't over romanticize life. This is something that has come to you practically speaking, which is why I also talked about you learning to pray your way into the lifestyle that you want. If you're trying to transition from that structured 9 to 5 life to making money through your creative endeavors here, pray about it, fast about it. You are that type of individual who's like, God, if it's meant for me, if I'm meant to feel this way, if I'm meant to be on this path, prove it to me. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? The way that you talk to God and the way that God talks to you is personal to you. You are the type that I will say that it would be very helpful for you to write down or at least speak out loud what it is that you would really like for your life to look like. Don't be afraid to romanticize, okay? Don't be afraid to really take it there into that Piscean energy. Please do not fear Piscean energy. It's actually good that you try to keep yourself on two two solid feet on solid ground. However, when it comes to making these plans and getting in tune with God and spirituality and the magic of life, it's really important for you to pray your way through it. Write things down and say, God, please show me the next step, reveal the next step to me. And you don't have to say exactly what I'm saying, but this is the type of relationship that you need to have with the divine. It's a realistic one, because the magical woo-woo, like, let me just sit here and imagine this, that does not work for you. And that is completely fine that that doesn't work for you, because again, I have to keep saying, tough lessons learned. You are an individual who learns your lesson the tough way, but once you do, there's no pulling you back into that trench. You're not, once you visit that trench one time, you never, ever, 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 ever have to worry about it again, okay? So let's move forward into your 10th house energy, which is represented by water. 10th house talks about your public image and your career and your relationships with authority figures here. So it's very interesting that we're talking about you being very practical and keeping your feet on solid ground. But the thing is that the very things that are practical and keeping you solid and stable are actually the very things that you need to pour your intimacy, your energy, your cup into. So it's almost as if you have to mold that cup to say, okay, I want the cup to look like this. I want it to embody this energy. And then you pour your all, you pour your everything into it. As an individual, you are highly respected for you being able to express how you feel without judgment, without fear of judgment. You are very honest that this is how I feel. Even on this solid ground, you are not afraid to flood the lands, if you will, because you know that sometimes you may go through a drought and it needs water when it needs water. You are very straightforward and to the point when it comes to your public image. People always know how you feel because you're not afraid to express how you feel. But just because you're expressing how you feel doesn't mean that you have to be tipsy with it, if you will. Your energy is very much expressed through water. So you may pick up on like drunk analogies and things like that. You don't want to be drunk on your emotions. You don't want to be tipsy on your emotions. You want to be able to handle your liquor, if you will. Okay. And I'm laughing because I think that some of you really don't even like drinking or something like this, or you really there's something kind of ironic about you being described as water, or you being indulgent, because I think that you might be quite the opposite here. All right, moving into your 11th house, we are represented by the fire signs, okay? And the 11th house talks about friendships, memberships in groups, hopes, goals, and wishes. So you are the fire starter. You are the inspiration. You are the guide. You are the divine drip, okay? You are the juice, the swag, everything that your friend groups need, that any group that you are involved in, especially in work, they need you. They need your water. They need your fire. That's why these two energies are sitting right next to each other, because I'm seeing that you are very much engrossed and involved in whatever it is that you do philanthropically and whatever it is that you do for work. You do it because you love it. You do it because you are genuine. You do it because you care. And this really shines through in your line of work, and it really inspires people. So again, like I said, you take your creative endeavors very seriously, and that's expressed even in your friendships. Most of your friendships are most likely linked to what you do for work. Not saying that they only like you for what you do for work, but it's actually just the fact that you are in your purpose. And so when you're in your purpose, you are seen as purposeful and important in everything that you do. All right. So this is a group here where you are very inspiring to people with everything that you do, because you are everything that you do. You are fully involved in everything that you do. You're fully truthful about everything that you're putting your time, effort, energy, love, and emotion into. Okay, and last but not least, your 12th house energy is being represented by Cancer, and the 12th house talks about your inner self, dreams, secrets, the past, subconscious, karma. All right, so this being represented by Cancerian energy, this is heavily a water sign, and we are sitting in Piscean energy when we are talking about the 12th house. So you are not afraid of your emotions, but Cancer is a cardinal water sign. So that's why you have this fiery, energetic passion rooted in every aspect of you. Because you're not one to just lay down and take it. You're not a fish. You're more of a crab, okay? You're not the fish that will go with the flow. You're more of a crab who will say what you feel and put your pinchers in where they need to be put in. Okay, there's something about you where you could be considered very picky. We did hint at that with this Virgo energy representing your creative endeavors. For you to be picky in your creative endeavors, that lets me know that you're picky in everything that you do. If you're picky about the fun that you have, you're picky in everything. And there's nothing wrong with being picky, because again, that's tough lessons learned about what you've gone through that you simply were not happy with, you were not satisfied with. So it's okay to be picky if that means that you get what you desire, you get what you need, and you get what soothes you. There's nothing wrong with who you are. There's nothing wrong with you knowing what you like. There's nothing wrong with you knowing what you don't like. There's nothing wrong with your passion. There's nothing wrong with your drive. There's nothing wrong with you being quiet. There's nothing wrong with you being serious. There's nothing wrong with you. I do pray that this reading brought the energy that you need in order to move forward, knowing that there's nothing wrong with who you are. It simply means that you just have to learn to work with who you are in the different environments that embrace you. I'm sending you so much love, so much life. This is all that I have for my King of Cups group number 1. Leave love in the comment section down below if you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Group number 2 that resonates with the Hierophant energy. Let's find out who you are. I'm going to shuffle out 12 cards to represent all 12 houses, and then we will go ahead and get started. This will be a time lapse. Group number 2, the Hierophant group. You are so magical, so impeccable, dare I say perfect. Okay, don't tell anyone else, bro. I feel like, oh my gosh, okay, this group is giving highly selective, highly chosen energy, and I use those terms rarely in my life because I feel like everyone has the ability to be chosen, but some people feel like, hell no, that's not the case. And meeting someone like you, your energy, makes me believe that maybe that's not the case, that not everyone can be chosen, that maybe there are some that have more of a direct line to God than others. Okay, maybe sometimes it is just in you and it's not on you. It's not what you wear. It's not who you know. Sometimes it's just you. You give off this chosen energy, and I feel like people be in your business and it makes them mad that they're in their business, that they're in your business, because I feel like someone is in this group right now who is not supposed to be watching this group, and it's making them mad. They're getting upset because they feel like they should be chosen. They feel like they should be in your position. But if that were the case, they would be in your position. Oh, wow. Okay, so group number 2, the Hierophant. First of all, look at the perfection of the color wheel. You literally have the perfect color wheel. You come out with Pisces energy, and it gets progressively fiery, and then it goes, okay, I'm cooled down, It's this perfect blend of earth, air, fire, and water. No matter what's actually in your chart, you have the perfect blend of all of the elements, okay? And guess what? At the center of it all is spirit. You are different. You are chosen. You are a leader. You are eloquent. You are excellent. I think that you know this, but you don't know this. For whatever reason, you go through these highs and lows, these moments of, oh, I know I'm that. And then other times it's like, am I that? Okay. I'm here to let you know, yes, you are. You go through these fiery spurts and then you fizzle out, and then fiery spurts and then fizzle out. This is the cycle of your life. Who are you? Everything. Okay, I was hearing excellent. He's excellent. Is thy name. So this group right here, you may wonder if maybe you are too spiritual, too wound up in God, too religious, too this, too that. No, you are not. Let's get into your message of who am I? We have 12 cards out here to represent the 12 houses. And honestly, you just have such a strong presence. Oh my gosh, like you don't forget a soul like this. Jupiter at the bottom of the deck rules over expansion, rules over Piscean as well as Sagittarius energy, which both came out for you. You are heavily ruled by fire and water. Heavily ruled by fire and water. Wow. I'm also hearing that you are full of integrity. Okay. Honestly, group number 2, I think that you're just in here for funsies, and maybe you just need a little tune up, because you're already in your energy. You already know who you are. You already know what you're doing. You just kind of already know. Even though you know nothing, you know exactly what you need to know. Okay? You know even though you don't know. You know even when you are researching. You know even when you don't know. Okay? I have to keep stressing that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Representing your first house, we have Pisces, and the first house talks about your self-image, your personality, your ambition, your drives, and your body. So you're the type of individual that a lot of people deflect and project onto. You can be their greatest fantasy or their worst nightmare. You can be both of these things at the same time for them. You can be neither of these things at the same time for them. When people see you for who you are, they're never actually seeing you for who you are. People don't know you. Let's just say that, especially at first glance. Whatever they initially think of you is completely wrong. It's a complete opposite of who you actually are, what you actually stand for. Your essence is purely magical. And the reason why your essence is purely magical, there's some sort of shape-shifting energy here where you are meant to be disguised with purpose until you are meant to be shown off. And I was just brought to 12, 11, 10. You literally have this countdown energy in your first 3 houses, okay? There's something about initial reactions, initial meetings, okay? And progressively your truth gets revealed over time, and it's meant to teach a lesson. Your essence as this Hierophant energy is exactly that. Your first impression on people is really supposed to throw them the fuck off, because you are being used as a lesson in their life. Quite frankly, you might hear this a lot and you're like, oh, like, yeah, whatever. But this is so valid, so true. You are projected to people, deflected to them as their greatest fantasy or their worst nightmare. And you turn that wheel into something that they need to learn from, to expand their horizons from wherever they have been, hence your Jupiter energy. Your second house is being represented by Aquarius. Your second house refers to your value systems, material possession, and financial attitudes. So the fantasy that they project onto you is most useful to you when it comes to monetary expenses and things of that nature, because I'm seeing that you may very easily get new jobs or get new opportunities because people have projected onto you, expected certain things of you. And this works out in your favor. And actually, it works out in everyone's favor, whether they realize it or not. Even if you don't end up being what they expected of you, you end up being better than what they anticipated. You ended up proving to them that expectations are not always what you need. Sometimes it's just a projection of what you think that you need to prove to you what you really needed. Okay, I hope that that made sense. All right. With Aquarius representing your second house as well, this lets me know too that you are very free and forward thinking here. It doesn't take long for you to come up with new ways to make money. You may also be the type to initiate things that make sense to you before they make sense to other people, and then they finally catch on. But by the time they catch on, you are the line leader of this train that has 37 cars behind it, and they are just hopping on at the 38th cart of the caboose. Okay, there's something about finally they see, finally they feel, finally they know, finally they think. Yeah, third house being represented by Capricorn. This is represented by the way that you communicate, think, and learn, your siblings and neighbors. You are a force to be reckoned with. You are not to be played with. You are, again, reflected to people as their greatest fantasy or their worst nightmare. Your reputation automatically lets people know that you're the one. You're the one to give the job to. You're the one to be trusted. Even if they don't know why, they learn why eventually. You are like the chosen in your lineage, your friend group, like, and it may not be like, oh yeah, they're the pretty friend or they're the smart friend. I don't care what it is. You just simply are. You are the one that they put up front. You are the line leader. And this is for different reasons for a lot of you, but it stems from this wisdom here. You can be thrown into circumstances that you've never been in before, and you will shine. You will succeed. You will thrive because it's in your blood, not on your person. I think that you should really take a step back and kind of observe yourself and observe life, and really not compare so much, but it is comparison. Look at how you are in certain situations for the first time compared to other people in certain situations for the first time. You just hit different, and this is not to dim anyone else's shine or to brighten yours. It's just the facts, the reality of it. You shine a little bit brighter because your light is just a little bit brighter, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And I see that you have this tendency to show how bright you actually shine, and then you dim that shit down, and then you show it, and then you dim it down. You go through cycles of this constantly going through cycles of this, but it's a part of the process, so it's okay. All right, so now moving forward into your fourth house energy, which is represented by Leo. Fourth house talks about your mother and father, your roots, your domestic life, and family. You are represented as Leo in all of this. You're the one that stands out. You stand out mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. You stand out in every way. Even if you don't make the most money, people would put you as the head of the household because of your essence. It's not on you. It's not in your pockets. It's in your blood. It's just the essence of you. Who are you? You are you. You're really the formulation of a new philosophy or a new prophecy. How do I describe this? Yeah, like how this person has a scroll here. You are meant to document, yes, there's a horn outside. You are meant to document your life in the same way that biblical figures documented their life through their spiritual awakenings. Because there's something magical here. There's some sort of breakthrough. There's some sort of philosophical breakthrough that your existence is contributing to or creating, or you're going to draw attention to something because of your pure essence, your pure existence in this world. Moving forward into your 5th house being represented by Taurus. 5th house represents creativity, affairs of the heart, fun, hobbies, social life, and children. You take fun in life very seriously. You enjoy life. You cherish life. You cherish your hobbies. You cherish the people around you. You cherish children. You believe that they are the future. You cherish creativity, and you cherish the desires of your heart. You have this very appreciative nature, this very appreciative energy to you that contributes to this Hierophant type energy. You show appreciation, you show gratitude, you show humility when it matters most. And that's showing in this essence of you brightening this light to dim it down, to get ready to brighten it again, to dim it down again, to know how to brighten it again. You're living in perfect flow. And it's because you are cherishing the times that you need to yourself, the times that you need with someone else. You cherish your needs, you cherish your wants, you cherish your desires. But you also know when to withdraw and when to humble yourself before the Lord, before God, before angels, answer, whatever you want to refer to it as. But this group right here, this is God. This is the essence of God existing through you. Without the rules and regulations of the real world, people look at you as some sort of phenomenon. That's why you're going to spark this philosophical debate or conversation in the world, because there's something about you living through seasons, you rejecting the status quo that's going to succeed, that's going to prove something in this life. And they're going to want to study you. They're going to want to question you. They're going to want to acknowledge you. You are going to be a reference point for people at some point in time to be like, but look at what group number 2 did and how it worked out for them. You are going to be a reference point. You could literally go down in history. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, y'all. Like, think about the people that have gone down in history. They didn't expect to go down in history, but they went down in history anyways. Okay. All right. Moving forward into your 6th house energy represented by Sagittarius. 6th house talks about your job, responsibilities, work habits, and relationship, as well as health. Sagittarius is also linked to Jupiter energy. Your job is literally to break through and create new phenomena, new perspectives, to bring new theories to the table. This is your job in whatever way that you do this, in whatever things that you do in this life. I don't care if you are a cook, if you are a tarot reader, if you are a teacher, if you are a mathematician, you are meant to create new standards, new theories, new perspectives that people will then follow behind you and study. People will then follow behind you and do. People will then follow behind you and create new theories, new philosophical standpoints of their own. This is big, y'all. Like, do you see? Do you feel it? I know that you feel it. In those moments when you're in your firepower, you know exactly what the fuck you're here to do. Even when you don't know, you know. Wow. Okay. And then your seventh house energy is represented by Virgo. Seventh house is all about business and romantic relationships, how you interact with people. And this being represented by Virgo energy, this lets me know that point blank period, you are very serious about the people that are around you. You're very serious about your romantic relationships. You're very serious about how you interact with people. You interact with people from a business-like standpoint. And that stems from this philosophical essence about you. I am literally hearing disciple energy, disciplined disciple energy. And this is not to say like, oh yeah, like I'm Jesus. No, just I feel like everyone is an embodiment of Jesus if they so choose to be, because it's all about the spiritual endowment. It's all about the experience. It's all about writing down what you've learned, writing about your travels, writing about your experiences, telling about God's work in your life. That's why you have this Pisces energy leading you, because it's all about your spirituality. It's all about how God did this, how God did that, how God uses me, how God does this through me, how God has led me through these cycles, and how it's got me here. You take this very seriously, okay? And with this being your seventh house and Virgo energy being here, you probably attract people that need you more than you need them. And I don't mean to say that in a way that it's like, oh yeah, like I'm here to fix everybody. It's just you are helpful in every scenario, in every house, in every group. You are helpful, you are beneficial, and it has a lot to do with your reason. It has a lot to do with the time that you take to pray about something. It has something to do with your ability to walk away from the fire and get in tune and then come back to the fire. The fire is the answer, the transformation. Speaking of transformation, we are moving into your 8th house energy, which is being represented by Pluto, which is 8th house energy. Jointly controlled money and assets, taxes, inheritances, and obligations. You have a big purpose in regards to what your energy, what your life, what your light does for other people. Although this is your life, your contributions are so much bigger than just you. There are going to be new systems of government put in place due to your studies, due to your expansion, due to your philosophical contributions, your theories, your questions. People will incorporate new practices into their world, into their life because of what you've done. Look, do you hear that? It's a truck backing up right now. People are going to reconsider everything that they think that they know just because of your contribution to society, because of how you choose to live your life. Which brings me straight into your 9th house energy, which is represented by air. And the 9th house talks about spirituality, religion, morals, higher education, long distance travel. This is what you talk about. The Hierophant. You are all about this. And this is all about you. Which is why you will contribute to these new ways of thinking. These things that contribute to people. You're literally going to be the reason why people undo or take back what they said. Because your theory proved another theory wrong or proved another theory right. This energy is also relevant because it's you. You're not afraid to go through your fire, reflect on your fire, learn from your fire, go through the fire again, and then talk about, document what it is that you've learned. You do a lot of trial error documentation. This is giving the kind of energy of, who was it? Thomas Edison, that they claim made the light bulb or whatever. Like he did 131 methods of how to not do it. And then he finally figured it out. You have something like this to contribute to the world. That's why you literally have Aquarius here in your 2nd house. You are going to contribute to some sort of major invention or major path or major track or major I'm literally being brought to like a major in school. Like people could literally study you or study what you studied in life because of your contribution to society and you not being afraid to share it with the world. All right, moving into your 10th house energy, represented by Gemini. 10th house talks about your public image, your career, relationships with authority figures. You are meant to be hand in hand with the top dogs, if you will. I'm talking government officials. I'm talking doctors, lawyers. I'm hearing bridges. Okay, so this could also have something to do with being a medium. Like if you are really into spirituality and connecting with spirit in that way, you are definitely meant to be some sort of middleman here, to bring what is above down here where we are below. And the thing is that for whatever reason, your contribution, here we go, that truck is backing up again. For whatever reason, your contribution is strong enough to make people take back everything that they said. There's something here about like you proving that something is real, something is true, and something is helpful, something is of God, something is this, something is that. This essence here is going to have you in the rooms with people that I just spoke of, government officials, doctors, lawyers. And I mean this in the way that you're not trying to go in the rooms with them to be like them. They are calling you into the room so that you can help them. You are reconfiguring and reconstructing life as we know it through your existence. So keep existing in the truth of who you are. Your 10th house being represented by Gemini, this lets me know that people are very trusting of you. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to know the people that you've known, the people that you've met through what it is that you do. For some of you, this is giving me like this energy of like a priest or something that is invited into the home of the president, or is invited to this person's home of status, because they trust you, they believe you, they want to be like you. All right, moving forward into 11th house, represented by water. The 11th house talks about friendships, memberships in groups, hopes, goals, and wishes. You bring the emotional fireworks, okay? You contribute to breakthroughs. This is why you literally have the 11th house represented by water. 11th house is also Aquarian energy, and I have to point out that these two are, they're codependent on each other is what I'm getting here. Your philosophical and inventive mentality is exactly what is helping people to find these breakthroughs, these emotional breakthroughs. And it's almost like this essence of like people feel like they owe something to you because you helped them, but you already know that that's a bunch of nonsense to never, ever, ever make people feel like they owe you something because you're doing God's work. That defeats the purpose of doing God's work, and you wouldn't even have this gift. You wouldn't have this impact on people if that were the case. But people just feel indebted to you simply because of how you have helped them. And again, this is not in a way that you are telling them like, oh yeah, bitch, bow down, get on your knees. Like, no, I'm not seeing that at all. It's more of like, you're just like, I'm just doing my job, kid. Okay, this is not me like trying to hype you to be like, oh yeah, you're like Superman, you're a superhero, but in your own sense you are, because to me, if you're doing God's work, you are a motherfucking superhero. And that's why people see you in this way, is because it's true. You're tapped in and it's true, and you are humble enough to maintain that truth. Because y'all know how I feel about the word humble. I'm not going to be humble with somebody that wants me to be humble, because bitch, you just want to try to step all over me. No. I'm going to be humble when it comes to my spirituality, because I know that without God, I am nothing. You have the same essence here. And last but not least, we have the 12th house, represented by Libra. 12th house talks about your inner self, dreams, secrets, the past, subconscious, and karma. So this being represented by Libra lets me know that your life is literally about the people that you will come into contact with. This is no joke. Your entire existence is about coming into contact with karmic connections to heal, repair, and move on. Simple as that. And this is all that I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing and trusting me to be your reader. It was honestly my pleasure. It was an honor to read for you. It was an honor to see that this kind of energy exists in the world. I'm sending you so much love, so much life. Leave love in the comment section down below. Let me know that this is your reading by leaving a purple heart emoji in the comment section down below. Sending you so much love, so much life. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Eight of Wands group, welcome. Let's find out who you are. I'm going to shuffle out 12 cards and then we're going to get started. Enjoy the time lapse. Group number 3, you give off a very grounded energy. I'm immediately being brought to earth signs, which makes sense because Venusian energy, being your leading card for your first house, can be a heavy signal towards Tauran energy. You've got a very dynamic energy to you. Dynamic in the sense that I'm picking up on heavy fire and earth energy for you. Which lets me know that you're very practical, you're very grounded, but you're also very motivated and motivating and inspiring to people. And you are never what they assume of you. Your card really captures my attention because this looks like a woman carrying a baby, right? You're wrong. If you look closely, that is a head. That is literally a severed head, and she has a dagger in her hands. But she looks so soft and innocent. And notice the coloring of the card. It's greens, browns, and reds, fire and earth. These are your most prominent energies, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into this message. So your first house is represented by Venusian energy, as we just spoke of. Venusian energy being in your first house, which represents your self-image, personality, ambition, drives, and body, lets me know that people are very physically attracted to you. When I see this card, the very first thing I see is just a nice figure, a pretty face, and pretty hair. I don't expect much of this woman other than her to be pretty. And let me just say that that might be how people interpret your energy at first. People just see a pretty face and they are enthralled, they are connected, they are motivated simply through your physical appearance. Your second house talks about your value systems, material possession, and financial attitudes, with Cancerian energy being here. We're getting into the fiery aspects here. Cancer is a cardinal water sign, which lets me know that although you are a water sign in this essence here, you are not passive as Piscean energy might be. You're the type to ask questions. You're the type that, yes, I'm a pretty face, but I am not stupid. That is your energy. You have a very snappy energy that people are surprised by, because your first house energy, your essence, is soft, delicate, like a flower, doesn't talk back. And then they are sadly mistaken. Who are you? A pretty face with an even prettier mind, an even prettier heart, a great intellect. Someone who is here, there, everywhere, and nowhere. Your third house is represented by Gemini. which is literally Gemini energy. The third house talks about the way you communicate, think, and learn, siblings and neighbors. You may be well educated, whether this is self-taught or you've gone to school. You come across as very well educated and not the type to be outsmarted. I'm getting that a lot of your experiences in this life have a lot to do with people mistaking your appearance for being a dimwit, if I'm being quite honest. This is actually a part of your essence. This is a part of your power. This is a part of your godly energy to be just that. I referenced to this in my last reading that I did on live. What makes you an alien superstar? Let me know in the comment section down below if you got, I think it was group number 3, who talked about giving people the opportunity to redeem themselves for when you catch them trying to cut off your head. Literally, this card is cutting off someone's head, and that's just a saying to say, like, trying to fool them in whatever way. You give them an opportunity to redeem themselves, and then when they don't, you take your shot and you take their head, metaphorically speaking. It's interesting that I even see here she has her hands above her head, and you can't see what this other hand is doing back here. Spirit's letting me know that this is a metaphorical way of saying that you look pretty, you look like this, you look like that, but there's a sword in that other hand that you can't see, and it's ready to take that head if you do not comply, if you are not fair, if you are not just. Fourth house energy being represented by Aquarius. Fourth house talks about your mother and father, your roots, your domestic life, and family. With this being represented by Aquarius, this lets me know that you have completely outgrown outdated modes of beliefs. You may be very misunderstood by the people around you because you were made for the age of Aquarius. You have some sort of soft feminine energy about you that's meant to be used in this age of Aquarius for people to underestimate you in some way, shape, or form. And then their underestimation gets used against them. And this is not to paint you as a bad guy. It's really, really, really not. I think you're more of an anti-hero. The type that, although it seems like there's something dark or villainesque about you, people still want you to win. They still root for you because they know that there's a reason for all of this. There's a reason that you take their heads in whatever way that may mean. You're very swift as well here with this 8 of Wands being your signifying card. I have to admit that your signifying card is really standing out a lot more than any other groups. You're very fast, quick-witted, beyond the times, if you will. In some cases, this head that you've taken with you is, I don't know what storyline that is. Is it? I don't know why I keep being brought to Ella Enchanted, but there was like a movie where a lady carried around like the head of her husband or something like this because he could still talk, or he was like trapped in a mirror or something. It's some sort of Disney movie or something like this, where essentially you are on a mission, and you were sent on this mission because you're pretty, you're physically appealing, and you are used as some sort of a distraction here to help the people prevail. Who are you? An advocate. That's what it is. You advocate for those that have no voice because for whatever reason, they'll listen to you. And they get trapped because they are drawn to you for whatever reason on the outside. But then they stay because whatever it is that you're talking about or whatever it is that you advocate for, it's actually necessary. You show people why it's important that you advocate for whatever it is that you're advocating for. Who are you? This is giving like the energy of a siren, and why sirens have like a bad rep. But really, I'm just getting this energy of like people's own projections, people's own shadows are drawn to you. And God uses that to trap them right where they need to be. Like, if you want to be shallow and only listen to people that you find attractive, then fine, I'm going to make this person attractive and I'm going to have them to say every word that you've always hated, but you always needed to hear, because you'll finally stick around and listen because they're pretty enough for you to listen. You are very beautiful with some ugly ass truths. And this is your purpose. This is who you are. And you have a very detached energy to you as well, so that you don't stick around for too long, so that people can change the essence of who you are or try to shut you up. You're not the type to be shut down. Fifth house energy, represented by Taurus. Fifth house talks about creativity, affairs of the heart, fun, hobbies, social life, and children. You take this aspect of your life very seriously. You are a free spirit. That's why they can't shut you up. They can't try to tie you down to shut you up. You are a pioneering spirit in the feminine sense of the word. You are the type of feminine that even if you're not a woman, in some other lifetime, you would have been like the Rosa Parks or the Marilyn Monroe. The one to really not care about what's expected of you, but do what you feel is right. Do what you feel is true. You would also be like a more present day example is Rihanna coming through here. She doesn't live to impress people. People just are impressed because of the way that she lives her life, what she stands for, what she does, who she knows, what she's capable of, how she's able to hold attention. A pioneering woman, a pioneering feminine energy. If you're not a woman, just take the messages as they resonate, but that's the essence here. Sixth house, represented by Uranus. Sixth house talks about your job, responsibilities, work habits, and relationships and health. I'm seeing that your job, your lifestyle is very unconventional. It's what's never been done before. It's what's never been heard before. It's never been seen before. It's never been felt before. You are the first in your lineage to do these kinds of things, or at least in your direct line. Whatever it is that you do for work, or whatever it is that you consider yourself responsible for, you do these things in unconventional ways. You even have like unconventional diets and health and things of this nature that you can help other people with. You are meant to teach people the things that they don't want to be taught, because for whatever reason, the teacher that they were supposed to be listening to just wasn't pretty enough for them. There's something very beautiful and ugly about this group right here. Like, you come in to set ugly truths free because you're considered society standard of pretty enough to do so, which is a huge burden for you to carry. And I think you need to know that. Seventh house, business and romantic relationships, how you interact with people, represented by Mars. You're all about go, 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 go. You are the type that you can show me better than you can tell me, and I can show you better than I can tell you. You don't respect or trust people just by what they say. When it comes to business and romantic relationships and how you interact with people, you let them show you how you need to interact with them, how you should treat them. You are not one to just take things easily and take things lying down, if you will, which takes us into this eighth house energy. Jointly controlled money and assets, taxes, inheritances, and obligations is led by Leo energy. You are meant to take over. You are meant to control other people's systems here. You are meant to be the face of someone else's business, the face of someone else's this, the face of someone else's that, or you are meant to overthrow who is in charge because they are not doing it from a space of integrity. They're not doing it with honesty. They're not doing it with love. Who are you? You are meant to overthrow those in power in whatever way that you see God to do so. For some of you, this is like you are in some sort of exactly, thank you, this Uranus energy, this Aquarius energy. You do something very unexpected. You are a catalyst for change in a very unexpected space, a very unexpected place. For a lot of you, because I keep talking about women, you could be meant to lead in a space where men are more dominant, but you are meant to come through and show why that's not the case, point blank, period. All right. Ninth house being represented by the moon. Ninth house talks about spirituality, religion, morals, higher education, long distance travel. And the moon is feminine energy. Ninth house, you are literally meant to expand this world through your femininity, through your essence, through your attraction, through your vibration. Not so much what you do, but because of who you attract. Not so much of where you go, but because of what comes to you, who comes to you, what opportunities are brought to you. You are meant to change the things that come to you. You are meant to shift the perspective of people, places, and things that come to you. Because people are attracted to you for all of the wrong reasons, I have to be honest. And again, God uses that against them. God uses their shadow against them to teach them a lesson. That's why Neptune is at the bottom of the deck here. There's some sort of fantasy, some sort of illusion that they try to paint around you. And then when they come to you, there's a rude awakening. But they can't even get mad at you because they came to you. You get it? All right. 10th house, represented by the sun. 10th house is your public image, your career, relationships with authority figures. I really feel as though this could be very cliche, but I'm getting this energy of like someone who's pretty enough to be a model, and you're so beautiful, you're so attractive, you're so handsome that people they're drooling over you. They're looking at you, everything that you do. But then when you get into your position of power and they start listening to you, you start advocating against the things that they advocate for. And this really throws them off. You start talking about things that they don't care about, or you start talking about things that they didn't even know existed. And this is that like rude awakening energy here, where it's like, yeah, you thought this was just an attractive person that didn't really need to say anything. You're the type of person that sometimes people may really want to shut you up, because they want you to just be that pretty face. But your essence, your energy could never, ever, 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 ever be that. It never, ever, 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 ever will be that, which is why you are this catalyst for change, to really overthrow toxic patterns and powers and energies and show them who the fuck really is boss, which is why we're stepping into your 11th house energy with friendships, memberships in groups, hopes, goals, and wishes being signified by Jupiter. This card is literally glowing in my third eye right now. It's literally glowing. Your relationships, the people that you join forces with, people that are like-minded as you, these are the people that are most important in your life, that will catapult you into where you're meant to be, and they will catapult you into where you're meant to be. And you guys, there's like this essence of these two energies coming together and creating a bountiful, fruitful life here. This is giving transformative energy, like two energies coming together, or multiple forces coming together and changing the world as we know it. This is giving this energy of like you manifest a whole new land and you create a new place for people to exist under proper rule, under proper reign, not to be controlled but to be loved. You're taking the heads, I'm telling you, you're taking the heads of leaders that truly don't deserve to be there, because they took that position of power, as opposed to God gracing them this said position of power. All right, you are using your God-given talents and efforts and abilities to shift life as we know it, which takes us to the 12th house, represented by Virgo. This talks about your inner self, dreams, secrets, the past, subconscious, and karma. You're perfecting all of this. The 12th house is represented by spirituality, God, the past, subconscious, karma, secrets, all of that. You're the one who's meant to bring it to the surface. And that's why you linger in people's subconscious. They're attracted to you because of some sort of shadows in their subconscious. and you shine light on it. It's like a vampire seeing the light and they just can't fucking handle it. You are that energy. That's who you are. So don't ever shame yourself for being that rude awakening to people, because that's your purpose. I'm sending you so much love, so much life. Leave love in the comment section down below to let me know if this resonated, and I'll see you next time. All right, so this portion is for my TAYliens only, and I was guided to do a mystery message, and I love this lighting here. Okay, this was a total accident, but I really like the vibes, so let's dive into it. Okay, so we have Uranus and we have Mars. Bottom of the deck energy, we have Neptune. Okay, so we have all planetary bodies taking massive influence in regards to TAYlien energy. And as I'm saying this, I don't know why I feel like we're like on a spaceship for TAYliens only, and we're getting ready to crash land somewhere. Like we're getting ready to land somewhere that we've been expecting. It's giving this energy of like, it's been a rough couple of days, or a rough last few days of the trip here. Okay, but we are crash landing. And when I say crash landing, this isn't anything bad. Like we're actually very excited about where we are about to land. So let's see what this Page of Cups is doing for us. Page of Cups, we have the Seven of Wands, clarifying Uranus energy. Clarify the Mars energy for me, please. Okay, and one more card for the Mars energy. We have the Two of Cups upright. Okay, so I just got this energy of like almost a leak here, and this leak is referencing to some sort of a breach, okay, which is why I'm seeing like these two on defense, and you see this thing shooting upwards as if it's going to go take care of the leak here. All right, so I'm seeing that we have been on defense, TAYliens, but there's something that's going to be coming through for us. Okay, yeah, the Five of Wands. There's been some sort of strife, some sort of trouble in our lives here. Okay, let's see what this is about. Okay, I already see what this is about. This was toxicity within the unit, if you will. Okay, so you may have been experiencing some sort of questionable energies in your home, some questionable energies within your friends, some questionable energies within yourself, actually, even when it comes to things that you weren't necessarily vibing with, or you felt like you were on defense with. I'm seeing that you are coming to a really steady space though here. Yeah, the Ten of Cups came right back out again. So I'm seeing that fighting the funk is getting us pretty far, TAYliens. Okay, so let's clarify the Two of Cups. There's some sort of a perfect ending. Wow, as I say, a perfect ending. We have the Sun coming out to clarify the Two of Cups. There's some sort of perfect ending here. All right, this Five of Pentacles, clarifying this Neptune energy, lets me know that in some space in your life you were lacking imagination, or you were lacking inspiration. Whatever this lack was, I see that you are coming out of this. Okay, you're coming out of this funk. There's something about a funk here for my TAYliens. Okay, now this kept coming through as like a unit kind of energy, like the unit was in a funk here, and I see that the unit is going to be coming up as a whole. So anyone that has been subscribed to this channel, you've been experiencing some sort of lack, some sort of some space where you feel like you had to apply some pressure, where you had to be disciplined, where you had to kind of be on top of your game. In some cases, you may have even felt defensive. Okay, for some of you, this has to do with like a work car or something like this. Or like fighting with someone about like how much time you have, or something like this, or someone trying to argue with you about the direction that you're headed in with something. I don't know, I just get this energy of something that was not flowing well, and it was disrupting your peace, which was directly impacting your inspiration, and it had you in this, again, fighting the funk kind of feeling here. For some of you, you've lost friends, you've lost coworkers, you've lost associates, you've lost certain facets and aspects of yourself that you thought that you would hold on to for a while, but I see you overcoming this. For some of you, if you didn't lose friends, if you didn't lose anything in this funk, then you just became stronger and you overcame this funk here, and you are meeting up with something that is much grander here. Let's see what this meeting is in regards to Taylien energy. What are the Tayliens going to be meeting or coming across? We have the Nine of Pentacles with the Three of Cups. Okay, so you could be coming into new friend groups. You could be coming into new ideas. You could be coming into new ways of identifying yourself. You may notice that you fit into a new demographic here. It's almost as if you're being initiated into a specific group or timeline here. Yeah, the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups here. This is something that you have been tirelessly working towards. For a lot of you, I see like paperwork going through, paperwork, time after time after time. The Two of Swords here are not really seeing a way out, but there is some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. What is the overall energy here for Tayliens? What is this battle breeding? The Nine of Wands. Wow, this battle is breeding proof that it was necessary to go through all of this here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, fighting for something, and you finally like put the weapons down, or there's something about like reaching a breaking point. Yeah, a breakthrough. Okay, this could be a breaking point or a breakthrough, or having that necessary conversation with someone, or anything like that. Again, fighting the funk here. Or for some, instead of fighting the funk, it was a need to surrender to the funk. Okay, whatever this funk required of you, you are finally aligning with what was necessary in order to move forward here. The King of Pentacles, this lets me know that you have definitely gained knowledge, Nine of Wands, to see your way through this situation here. You're seeing a way out. Let's get one more tarot card from the Circle of Life tarot deck here. One more to really summarize this energy. Wow, we have double Two of Cups here. Okay, so there's a huge awakening, a massive meeting or something like this, whether this is like two energies colliding or people meeting each other. It's like these look like energies of like two people meeting each other. Like they have the perfect thing, like you have what I need, I have what you need. And we have the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. This is like a random occurrence, a random run-in. This Uranus energy and this Mars energy, it's like two energies colliding here. Okay, and I'm seeing that in some cases this collision it bred some sort of misunderstanding here for a few of you, but for others of you, this was just something that needed to, it took adjusting. Something here that took adjusting, or maybe an apology was necessary or something like this here. Whatever this is, you have fought the funk. That's the energy that's coming through here from my Taylien. So you can expect some sort of conclusion or some sort of pause or some sort of breakthrough, some sort of break where you feel like, okay, that was not for nothing. You're finding the reason for something here. Wow, the Five of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. You're seeing why it was necessary to fight this funk here. And you're also going to be seeing how something was completely an illusion. And you have beat the boss. I guess you could say there's something about beating the boss here. So this is all that I have for you, Tayliens. Sending you so much love, so much light. Leave some love in the comment section down below. Let me know how this applies to your life, because you know tarot, it gives me the outline, but it could be applying in so many ways. This could be the plot in someone's book or movie that they're watching. This could be the plot of someone's actual life. This could be the plot of someone's relationship, or something that's future to come, or something that was way distant in the past but is now finally coming full circle. So please let me know in the comment section down below. And this is all that I have for you. Until next time, take care, be well. Bye, Tayliens.